Well, look who's back.
Back again.
I found a new victim. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Toafalkman, and I'm here.
My
Read the Bible.
condolences.
Let God have mercy on your soul.
Yes.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Is there anything you would like to ask me about, or anything you would like me to say?
It's entirely up to you.
Okay.
The introduction is literally just whatever you want it to be.
Okay. Well, I'm a Swedish man, and
Really, prove it. Say something in Swedish.
ja, hej. You stumped me. Say something in Swedish. Jag har ett hus. That's the one.
Who's also.
Ja,
I'm not scared. I'm not convinced. I think
Jag har
he's
pengar.
an
har du
imposter.
pengar för mig?
No, but for
okay.
me.
Nej.
For me.
May. It's pronounced May.
Oh.
M-I-G, May. But yeah. I'm not a religious man. I've actually never been... I was
That's
never
good.
baptized, and I've never been a member of the Swedish church, which is fairly uncommon for someone my age.
That's actually pretty good. That'll make it easier for you, because if you were, after this, you would have to unbaptize yourself.
Yeah.
And uncircumcise yourself. Just do it
Just
back on.
stitch it back on, sure.
Just like,
Or maybe just with a
take a
tag.
little suction cup, you just give it a little lick. Stick it on.
Yeah. I guess I'm not, and I haven't read the Bible much. It's one of those things I've been meaning to do at some point, but never gotten around to it. I probably never will.
What do you mean by
today.
you haven't read it much?
Well, I mean, you probably read bits and pieces here and there.
Everyone gets exposed to a passage here and there, you know.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
but you
like
never
I said,
actively like, read an entire book of the
No,
Bible or chapter or anything, really.
not that I can remember. I mean,
Okay.
I feel like I probably should have at some point, maybe in school.
No,
We
you
did
really
have
shouldn't.
religion in school, you know. But
Yeah, basically that's where we started as well.
yeah,
And I can tell you at this point where I'm now, I've read a good chunk. I wouldn't recommend it. Not good.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
But
Well,
you're about to find that out for yourself, most likely.
I'm reading another classic right now, then Lord of the Rings. I hadn't read that one, so I thought Bible, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, definitely.
Yeah, it's okay.
I would ask you if you're ready, but you cannot possibly be ready. So either you lie to me or you say you're not ready. But I'm going to start regardless, so I don't even need to ask you.
I think we just go see what happens.
2 Kings 10. Now Ahab had 70 sons in Samaria, and so Jehu wrote letters, and he sent to Samaria to the nobles of the city and to those greater by birth.
Hold on. I forgot about this. I got a whole bottle of Bailey's. Fucking, I'm in the money, boys.
Bitch.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
To the nobles of the city and to those greater by birth and to those who had raised Ahab's son, saying, immediately when you receive these letters, you who have your large sons and chariots and horses and reinforced cities and weapons, choose him who is better and who pleases you from amongst us, the sons of the Lord. No one? From the sons of your Lord, and set him on the throne of his daddy, and fight for the house of your Lord. But they were vehemently afraid, and they said, behold.
That's a drinking cue, by the way.
2 kings were not able to stand before him, so how will we be able to withstand him?
So you actually do the drinking game, both of you, all the time, or is this?
Oh yeah,
Of course.
Yeah. It doesn't stop. There is no rest for the wicked, my friend.
All right. I wasn't told about drinking part, I guess, but
Well, it is. I mean, it is optional.
Yeah.
However, you will be ostracized for not doing so.
Yes.
Did I not send you an invitation? Does the invitation not?
It does.
Did I not send you a PDF? Hold on.
No, I don't think so.
I shall verify
Wow.
this.
I put so much effort into that, and you
okay.
fucking. I can't believe you've done this, Skytis.
Oh yeah, I would have sent it to him, but he was busy, and then it just was, oh yeah, Bible week, let's do this. This is yeah.
Just send it to him now because it's still funny.
Bad. Okay, fine. I'll find it.
I made it myself. I promise.
All right. Well, I guess Skytis fucked both of us then.
Oh, you have no idea how much I would love to. I mean, what?
Oh,
there
there
you
it is.
go.
Well, I guess that would have been helpful to have before, but
I am thoroughly sorry. I thought I already sent it to you, but clearly I can't be trusted.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you're stupid for thinking that I could be trusted. Like, why would you rely upon me? This is on both of you, honestly. This is not my fault.
Okay. I see how it is.
Therefore, those who were in charge of the house, and the prefects of the city, and those greater by birth, and those who raised the sons, sent to Jehu, saying, we are your servants. Whatever you will order, we will do. but we will not appoint a king for ourselves. Do whatever pleases you. Then he again wrote letters to them a second time, saying, If you are mine, and if you obey me, take the heads of the sons of your lord, and come to me at Jezreel at this same hour tomorrow. Now, the sons of the king, being 70 men, were being raised with the nobles of the city. And when the letters had arrived to them, they took the sons of the king, and they killed the 70 men. And they placed their heads in baskets, and they sent these to him at Jezreel. Then a messenger arrived and reported to him, saying, They have brought the heads of the king's sons. And he responded, Place them in 2 piles beside the entrance of the gate until morning. And when it had become light, he went out. And standing there, he said to all the people, You are just. If I have conspired against my lord, and if I have killed him, who has struck down all of these? Now therefore, see that none of the words of the Lord has fallen to the ground, which the Lord spoke over the house of Ahab, and all that the Lord has done, what he spoke by the hand of his servant Elijah. And so Jehu struck down all who had remained from the house of Ahab in Jezreel, and all his nobles and friends and priests, until no remnant of them was left behind.
I like how the document specifies that I don't actually have to pay attention to this at all, apparently.
Correct?
I feel free to amuse yourself with other means.
Yes.
Right. I'm already finding it hard. Well, I'll be honest, I haven't paid attention to
Good.
any of the Bible so far.
Good.
But at some point I feel like I should make an attempt.
Nah. It's
pretty difficult to actually
It
pay
is.
attention. Even if you're the one reading it, you'll still not have an idea.
Here's the fun part. I was just about to say, I don't quite follow it. Like, somebody called for all the 70 sons of the king and had them executed, and then other people were also executed. I think.
The king had 70 sons.
I think?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't read the Bible. What do you?
Well, you do, but
Hello, cat
Yes, you
peasant. On the 7th day, he was arrested. Oh, I wish that would spare me from having to read this.
cat Bennings.
Yeah, but basically, if you're ever confused, that's normal. That's expected. And also, if you're confused, you have to drink.
Right. Well, I do have some sparkling water here, but I feel like that would just offend you even more.
And he rose up and went to Samaria. And when he had arrived at the shepherd's cabin along the way, he found the brothers of Ahaziah, the king of Judah, and he said to them, Who are you? They responded, We are the brothers of Ahaziah, and we are going down to greet the sons of the king and the sons of the queen. I think they're talking about a different king now, but I'm not sure. He said, Take them alive. And when they had taken them alive, they cut their throats at the cistern beside the cabin, 42 men. And they did not leave any of them behind. And when he had gone away from there, he found Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him. And he blessed him. And he said to him, Is your heart upright, just as my heart is with your heart? And Jehonadab said, It is. Then he said, If it is, then give me your hand. He gave his hand to him. And so he lifted him up to himself in the chariot. And he said to him, Come with me, and see the zeal for the Lord. And he gave him a place in his chariot, and he led him into Samaria, and he struck down all who were left behind of Ahab in Samaria, even to the last one, in accord with the word of the Lord which he spoke through Elijah. Then Jehu gathered together the entire people, and he said to them, Ahab worshipped Baal a little, but I will worship him even more. Now therefore, summon to me all the prophets of Baal, and all his servants, and all his priests. Let no one be permitted not to come. For great is the sacrifice from me to Baal. Whoever will fail to come, he shall not live.
Where's the Ulu?
I don't know. Did I do? Is my job to find a replace, or is it your job?
I did.
I am just reading this book. You suck.
Wow. How?
I'm
just gonna blame on Google Docs being fucking crunchy as fuck.
Oh yeah, that's mature. Now Jehu was doing this treacherously so that he might destroy the worshippers of Baal. And he said, Sanctify a day of the solemnity for Baal. And he summoned and sent into all the borders of Glasgow. And all the servants...
first egg, Teras?
Egg.
Okay, you're having an egg right now.
It's successfully soft boiled.
Oh, okay, nice.
Nice and runny in the middle.
Is it unsalted like Skytis nuts, or do you have like a salt or anything?
That's what the loud noise is.
Oh, okay.
Freshly ground salt.
Teras is a bit of a grinder.
Oh.
Okay, that's normal. Okay, continue, Skytis.
Or done.
Hold on.
Oh, Erdnisse.
These nuts.
Yeah. Oh. Jawohl.
Yeah, but they are to my left, which is why I said yesterday, looks to the left.
All right.
No,
That's
all
very
left, not right.
That's
Terrible, upsetting,
right.
annoying, stupid, expected.
I
All
don't-
of the
yeah,
above.
maybe a bit of all of those. I'm not surprised. I'm a bit disappointed, but also not. I guess I just have to accept it.
I'll get your expectations low enough.
Okay.
Just give me some time. And all the servants of Baal came. Ooh. I think you just replaced came, not come. That's the problem. There was left behind not even one who did not arrive. And they entered into the temple of Baal. And the house of Baal was filled, all the way from end to end. And he said to those who were over the vestments, "Bring forth vestments for all the servants of Baal." And they brought forth vestments for them. And Jehu, upon entering the temple of Baal with Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, said to the worshippers of Baal, "Inquire and see that there is no one with you from the servants of the Lord, but only from the servants of Baal." Then they entered so that they might offer victims and holocausts. But Jehu had prepared for himself 80 men outside, and he said to them, "If anyone escapes from amongst us, these men whom I have led into your hands, your life will take the place of his life." Then it happened that when the Holocaust had been completed, Jehu ordered his soldiers and officers, saying, "Enter and strike them down. Let no one escape." And the soldiers and officers struck them down with the edge of the sword, and they cast them out. And they went into the city of the temple of Baal. And they took away the statue from the shrine of Baal. I'm sure that's supposed to be shrine. And they burned it up and crushed it. They also tore down the temple of Baal, and they made it into a latrine, even to this day. And thus did Jehu wipe away Baal from Glasgow. Yet truly, he did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Glasgow to sin. Neither did he forsake the golden calves, which were in Bethel and Dan. Then the Lord said to Jehu,
No, he did. That I'm sure he did.
"Since you have diligently carried out what was right and pleasing in my eyes, since you have accomplished against the house of Ahab all that was in my heart, your sons shall sit upon the throne of Glasgow, even to the 4th generation." But Jehu did not take care so that he might walk in the law of the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow, with all his heart. For he did not withdraw from the sins of Jeroboam, who had caused Glasgow to sin. In those days, the Lord began to be weary of Glasgow, and Hazael struck them throughout all the parts of Glasgow, from the Jordan opposite the eastern region, in all the land of Gilead, and Gad, and Reuben, and Manasseh, from Aroah, which is above the torrent Arnon, in both Gilead and Bashan. But the rest of the words of Jehu, and all that he did, and his strength, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow?
Oh, what a strange fucking phrase to keep repeating.
And Jehu slept with his daddies, and they buried him in Samaria. And Jehoahaz, his son, reigned in his place. Now the days during
Jehovah's ass?
No, Jehoahaz. Because Jehovah has a son.
Jehovah
probably.
has?
I don't know, but Jehovah has.
Wow.
Now the days during which Jehu reigned over Glasgow in Samaria were 28 years.
I feel like I should have brought more props I feel like Teras has he has all his eggs, he has his bread.
He
has
put all his eggs in one basket, actually.
Yes. Well, he didn't because he has a lot of other stuff. But
I have quite a lot of random stuff about me.
yeah.
If I wasn't lazy, I'd grab my Danny DeVito cardboard cutout or my Crusader helmet. But I'm lazy, and this whole week is
Toa, let me ask you
very high
this.
production value.
Yes.
Who's stopping you?
Well, I said I should have brought more props.
Well, get up and get something, you fucking lazy cunt.
I'll think of something. Oh wait, there's a prop. Here's proof. You doubted me before.
That's,
Oh,
although
yeah,
that's works as
Hold on,
proof,
let me
but
get my
sure.
Germany flag to prove that I'm German. Oh, wait.
Starts looking at it. It's
Well, I guess
just pat your pockets like I'm sure I left it here.
I guess I'm not German after all.
And it's topical. It's the cross. See?
Oh, it's wrong. You're holding it upside down.
I'll hold it this way.
No, turn it 90 degrees further.
I'll not have you convince me to soil the Swedish flag. Well, soil, I guess, would be entertainment at least, but
If you don't, I'll just print one out in color and then do it myself.
okay, go ahead. There has been a bit of that.
Fine, I
going
fucking
around
will.
lately. Because, well, let's not get into that, but in some parts of the world, there may have been some.
Shut up, I'm gonna go plug in that printer. I'll be right back.
All right.
You were saying?
No, I'm just saying. He's strange, isn't he?
No, he's Teras.
Yes. Okay. Well, so this whole part here is about a king and
Actually, two kings, but the problem is they're both just referred to as king very often, and not just which king. So there's the king of Judah and the king of Glasgow. But
the king of Judah is the king of the Jews.
I don't know. He's the king of Judah. But
okay, wait. Judah is like the
Judaism and all that. Yeah, there's something along those lines.
So that's roughly where sort of Israel Palestine is now, or is that more like Iran, Iraq?
I have no clue, but you have plenty of time to find that out right now if you would like.
Yeah, true. I feel like it might go against the general tone of the thing to actually know stuff and look things up.
What are you looking up?
Nothing.
Wow.
Well, every now and then you have to be smart, right?
Syria and Armenia, I think. Hello, Despes.
Welcome. Well, I don't know. I've always been absolutely miserable at geography.
Yeah.
Like a lot worse than the average bad person. There's just I don't know.
But the thing is also that we're talking about countries that don't exist anymore. So then it's also history,
which I'm also terrible at. Thank you very much. my history teacher managed to make sure that I absolutely despise history.
Right.
So
despise history.
Yes. 2 Kings 11. Truly, Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, seeing that her son was dead, rose up and put to death, with one F, all the royal offspring. But Jehosheba, the daughter of King Joram, the sister of Ahaziah, taking Jehoash, the son of Ahaziah, stole him away from the midst of the sons of the king who were being killed, out of the bedroom with his nurse. And she hid him from the face of Athaliah so that he would not be killed. And he was with her for 6 years, hidden in the house of the Lord. But Athaliah reigned over the land. Then in the 7th year, Jehoiada sent for and took centurions and soldiers, and he brought them to himself in the temple of the Lord. And he formed a pact with them. And taking an oath with them in the house of the Lord, he revealed to them the son of the king. And he commanded them, saying, "This is the word that you must do. Let 1/3 part of you enter on the Sabbath, and keep watch on the house of the king. And let 1/3 part be at the gate of Sur. and let 1/3 part be at the gate behind the dwelling place of the shield bearers. And you shall keep watch on the house of Misha. Yet truly, let 2 parts of you
Done.
Oh, you did it. Oh, okay, nice.
He said he would, so he did.
If you want something done, you gotta do it yourself.
True.
I guess so. I do have a Norwegian flag also.
I mean that's staying there now. By the way, this is a permanent addition to my room.
Okay, nice.
You can come here next year on another Bible stream. That will still be there.
Yet truly, let 2 parts of you, all who depart on the Sabbath, keep watch over the house of the Lord concerning the king. And you shall surround him, having weapons in your hands. But if anyone will have entered the precinct of the temple, let him be killed. And you shall be with the king, entering and departing. And the centurions acted in accord with all the things that Jehoiada, the priest, had instructed them. And taking each one of their men who would enter on the Sabbath, with those who would depart on the Sabbath, they went to Jehoiada, the priest. And he gave to them the spears and weapons of King David, which were in the house of the Lord. And they stood, each one having his weapon in his hand, before the right side of the temple, all the way to the left side of the altar and of the shrine surrounding the king. And he led forth the son of the king, and he placed the diadem on him and the testimony. And they made him king, and they anointed him. And clapping their hands, they said, "The king lives!" Then Athaliah heard the sound of the people running. And entering to the crowd at the temple of the Lord, she saw the king standing upon a tribunal, according to custom, and the singers and trumpets near him, and all the people of the land rejoicing and sounding the trumpets. And she tore her garments, and she cried out, "Conspiracy! Conspiracy!" Oh yeah, Teras. She tore her garments, actually.
Oh yeah.
In case you're new to the Bible, whenever somebody's mad, they will just go Hulk mode and destroy their own clothings. It's just a thing they did.
What did she destroy? I thought you said gums. Like
Garments.
Garments. Oh, okay.
Garments. That would be.
I know the Bible can be pretty
That would be interesting.
violent, but that was a bit over the line.
Oh.
It doesn't exist anymore. Somebody better tell. Why are you reading the Old Testament? Why are you not reading the Old Testament?
That's a very good question.
I want to understand what makes this book so special.
Mm-hmm.
But Jehoiada gave orders to the centurions who were over the army, and he said to them, "Lead her away, beyond the precinct of the temple, and whoever will have followed her, let him be struck with the sword." For the priest had said, "Do not allow her to be killed in the temple of the Lord." And they laid hands on her, and they pushed her through the way by which horses enter beside the palace. And she was killed there. Then Jehoiada formed a covenant between the Lord and the king and the people, so that they would be the people of the Lord, and between the king and the people. What? Hold on, what did I just read? Then Jehoiada formed a covenant between the Lord and the king and the people, so that they would be the people of the Lord, and between the king and the people.
That's a lot of people, king, and.
Oh, so we had a three-way covenant between Lord, king, and people, and then also a two-way covenant between just king and people. Because otherwise the sentence doesn't make any sense, which wouldn't be the first time, to be fair.
Wow, that's oddly specific.
And all the people of the land entered the temple of Baal, and they tore down his altars, and they thoroughly crushed the statues. Also,
Thoroughly.
thoroughly.
Into a powder, or like did they actually take the effort to grind it into a powder?
They didn't just crush them; they crushed them thoroughly.
Wow, I think he's just crushing them wasn't enough.
Also, they killed Matan, the priest of Baal, before the altar. Hey, Teras, remember when Matan was introduced?
Oh yeah, there was like a whole 3 books about him. One of my favorite characters, that guy.
Yeah, remember when he died?
Did he?
That's how much Teras is paying attention, by the way. So if you ever feel like you're not paying enough attention, Teras, yeah, I'm gonna highlight 2 sentences for you. Actually, only need that 1 sentence. Never mind.
Oh yeah, so his introduction was him dying.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Which is less than 10 lines. Hello, Heathen.
It's less than 10 fucking characters.
True.
Does your interest in like Diablo 2, the games, does that at all influence your desire to read the Bible? Because
No.
we have like Ball here.
No,
Yeah.
I can give you the background. Let me just finish this chapter. And the priest placed the guards in the house of the Lord. And he took the centurions and the legions of the Cherethites and the Pelethites and all the people of the land, and together they led the king from the house of the Lord. And they went by the way of the gate of the shield, by way of the gate of the shield bearers into the palace. And he sat upon the throne of the kings. And all the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was quieted. But Athaliah was slain with the sword at the house of the king. Now Jehoash was 7 years old when he had begun to reign. 7? Okay,
Wow,
interesting.
pretty good.
No, I just had the idea one day, you know what? I should just do a Bible reading stream someday, just as a meme. And then I had a 300% more brilliant idea to ask Teras if he's down for it.
And because it
That's
sounded
the
like a
idea,
really,
okay.
really stupid thing, of course I agreed.
All right.
And well,
So now you're stuck with each other for like a decade at least.
no, not a decade. Actually, at the current
No.
pace,
Skytis. Bear in mind, there's also the New Testament and other religious texts. So I think
Yeah.
decade is a bit more accurate.
Well,
Okay, I can tell
the
you.
Bible does include the New Testament, right?
At the
No,
current pace,
this is just the Old Testament, all the stats we got for.
yes. At the current pace, we will finish the Old Testament in late 2027.
Mm. So you're not reading. You should be like a disclaimer. We're not actually reading the whole Bible. We're reading.
Oh no, we
No.
will be afterwards.
It's
There's technically separate entities,
Mm.
so
the
we're treating them
problem.
separately.
A problem. The thing is, we have so much to read that why should I bother even looking into the New Testament yet?
I just think it would be funnier if you.
But
could have promised
that
to
sounds like work. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. You know, like
Okay.
when we get close to the end of the Old Testament, then I'll definitely look into getting a New Testament ready and all. But for now, it's.
No, I'm not saying you have to get it ready. I'm just saying you have to say you're going to do it.
I think everybody that followed along, which is just about nobody, knows that.
Right.
I don't know. Carl Peasant seems to be here often, so
He's here often. That doesn't mean he's following. Let's be
because
real.
even if he was trying to follow, he probably has some level of brain damage at this point.
Okay, where was I? Clothing took a long time to make back in the day, so tearing your clothing is basically the equivalent of smashing your iPhone. That's a very fair point. That is very, yeah, true.
My fucking god!
You brought
Just
this upon
replace
yourself.
garments. Just replace garments with iPhone now.
Cool, you brought this upon yourself. You're being forced to
Oh.
say something.
What? I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
Just look at the chat. More text. Hello, Miso.
I'm going to. Would you want me to say games? What? Games.
Don't ask
Games?
me.
Games.
Games. It's in the
Games.
game.
Hello, Bible group. I'm Miso. Okay. Hello.
Would you like to read a chapter? This one is relatively short. It's like half a page.
Okay. And where do I start?
2 Kings 12.
2
part
Kings 12.
That's
okay.
highlighted. Yes.
Let's see. In the 7th year. In the 7th year of Jehoash reigned, and he reigned for 40 years in Jerusalem. The name of his mother was Sebiah of Beersheba. And Jehoash did what was right in the sight of the Lord during all the days that Jehovah the priest taught him. Yet still he did not take away the high places. For the people were still immolating and burning incest. I guess that should be incense,
No.
probably.
No.
No, it really shouldn't be.
Maybe. Okay.
You're so welcome.
And Jehoash said to the priests, all of the money from the holy things which has been brought into the temple of the Lord from those who pass by, which is offered for the price of a soul, and which they bring into the temple of the Lord willingly, from their own free heart.
Wow.
Let the priests, according to their ranks, take and use it in order to repair the surfaces of the house, wherever they see anything in need of repair. Okay.
I think this basically means if somebody comes to the temple and offers stuff to repent for their sins or anything the likes, that stuff the priest can use to repair the temple.
Yeah, something like that.
Otherwise, I don't get it.
But was there something in the previous chapter about the temple or the being damaged?
No, this is just in case it gets damaged, you know?
Okay. And yet, even until the 23rd, why is there a space between 20 and 3rd?
Yes.
Okay. And yet, even until the 23rd year of the king Jehoash, the priest did not repair the surfaces of the temple. And the king Jehoash called the high priest Jehoiada and the priests, saying to them, why have you not repaired the surfaces of the temple? Therefore you may no longer accept money according to your ranks. Instead return it to the order that the temple may be repaired. And so the priests were prohibited from accepting any more money from the priest to repair the surfaces of the house. And the priest well, okay, so I guess they were just taking the money for themselves, basically, but they should have used it to make the to repair or to
maintain.
I guess the maintenance of the temple.
Yeah, I think. I no promises, but I think that's what's being said. Sounds like a wheat grinder. I don't know.
Yeah,
making a spliff med Bible reading. I don't think Teras is doing that, but he wouldn't understand anyway. Blasphemy, no. No sense of the word skithwal so far in the Bible. How do you pronounce TH in Swedish?
No, that's
Skithwal?
not. Those are actually two words: wheat and hall. So wheat.
Translate.
Wheat?
Translate.
Wheat.
Oh.
Translate.
Yeah, the SK in that word is pronounced like wheat. Wheat.
So wheat hall.
Wheat hall.
Wheat hall.
Wheat hall.
Your mum's a hole.
It means the shithole. So, you know, anus, basically.
Thanks.
It doesn't count, Ivan. It doesn't count. Okay, so just for context, I've been having a challenge on my stream where I use the word skithål as a sort of curse word, but I wanted to stop using it. So I had a challenge on my stream where every time I said it, I had to eat a chocolate anus. But it actually worked.
Is the chocolate anus an imprint of your own anus?
No, it's just a box of chocolate anuses.
Wow, that's disappointing.
Yeah. But it's chocolate flavored, not anus flavored, right?
Well, yeah, chocolate.
Then it doesn't really sound like a good way to stop you from saying the word.
Is it an anus flavored chocolate or chocolate flavored anus?
It's
put your tongue in and find out.
It's anus shaped chocolate. I think that sums it up. My brother bought it for me.
Wonderful.
What an asshole gift.
But again, it actually worked. I stopped saying the word. So yeah.
Amazing.
But I did have to eat some anus to get there.
Was it at least good chocolate or was it cheap chocolate?
It wasn't. It was okay. Nothing special.
Did it have any hair?
High priest... Excuse me?
Did it have any hair?
It did not have any hair.
Ooh.
You're so welcome. I highlighted the sentence where you currently were.
Yes, and the high priest Jehoiada. These fucking names. Jehoiada.
Yeah, sure, why
Okay,
not?
so
You-
that was me ad-libbing, by the way. That wasn't in the
I
Bible.
mean, you can give him a nickname. You can name him like J-Ho or, I don't know, just Ho.
J-Rock. And the priest Jehoiada took a certain chest, and he opened a hole in the top, and he placed it beside the altar, to the right of those who were entering the house of the Lord. And the priests who kept the doors put all the money in it, which was being brought into the temple of the Lord. And when they saw that there was a great amount of money in the chest, the scribe of the king and the high priest went up and poured it out. And they counted the money that was found in the house of the Lord. And they gave it out by number and by measure to the hands of those who were over the masons of the house of the Lord. Masons, like masonry, I guess. The masons.
Yeah, basically, they basically gave the money to the people who maintain the temple.
Yes.
I think that's what it's trying to say.
Well, I guess that makes sense because they talked about the surface of the building before.
Don't ask. I don't know. I'm just here to make Teras look better.
Okay.
Wow.
And they weighed it out to the carpenters and masons, to those who were working in the house of the Lord, and restoring the surfaces, and to those who were cutting stone, and buying timber and stones to be cut, so that the repairs to the house of the Lord might be finished, for all that was needed toward the expenses in order to strengthen the house. Yet truly, from the same money they did not make for the temple of the Lord water pitchers, or small hooks, or censers, or trumpets, or any vessel of gold or silver from the money that was bought into the house of the Lord. For it was given to those who were doing the work, so that the temple of the Lord might be repaired. And they did not ration the money to the men who received it in order to distribute it to the artisans. Instead, they bestowed it with faith. Yet truly, the money for offenses and the money for sins they did not bring into the temple of the Lord, since it was for the priests. Then Hazel, the king of
Whatever you want
Syria.
to pronounce it as.
Yeah,
Just pronounce it as if it's a Swedish word if you're unsure.
I start thinking about hazelnuts. Is that a nut you have unsalted?
Not currently, but regularly, yes.
Okay.
Either unsalted peanuts or a mix of unsalted walnuts, hazelnuts, almonds, and
pretty
cashews.
Okay.
I'm kind of a nut drop.
See, I'm glad I asked now.
You kind of are, actually.
Boston.
Busting
Who's
an
there?
Egg.
Egg who?
Egg you.
Damn, he's good.
Then Hazel, the king of Syria, ascended and fought against Gath, and he captured it. And he directed his face so that he might ascend against Jerusalem. For this reason, Jehoash, the king of Judah, took all the sanctified things which Jehoshaphat and Jehoram and Ahaziah, his daddies, the kings of Judah, had consecrated, and which he had offered, and all the silver that could be found in the treasuries of the temple of the Lord and in the palace of the king, and he sent it to Hazelnut, the king of Syria. And so he withdrew from Jerusalem.
Hey, Skytis.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
Egg?
but you're not replacing Hazael with hazelnut, which is now
That was-
canon because that's how he's reading it. So this is clearly the correct way to pronounce it.
Exactly, hazelnut, I guess. Now the rest of the words of Jehoash and all that he had done, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Judah?
Oh, no.
Then his servants rose up and conspired among themselves, and they struck down Jehoash at the house of Milo, on the descent of Silla. For Josachar, the son of Shimeith, and Jehozabad, the son of Shomer, his servants struck him, and he died. And they buried him with his daddies in the city of David. And Amaziah, his son, reigned in his place.
Teras? For
Yes.
Josachar, the son, blah, 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 and someone else, his servants struck him and he died. I don't think I've ever heard of Josachar before.
No, yeah.
There's so many names all the time.
Oh, do you think this is many names? Oh boy, you do not want to read the early parts of the Bible.
Okay.
Like the entirety of Genesis and half of Exodus is just family tree TM.
Oh,
Just
right.
all the names. And actually, no,
Right.
not all names, half the names. Because almost none of the women are named. Nowadays, in these books, like the women are a lot more present. But back then it was just the men. But there were so many names.
Right.
Sometimes a chapter would just be like, and this guy had this son, and this son, and this son, and this, and this, and this, and then just literally a list of like 20 to 40 names.
I feel like someone had 53 kids. Is that a number you can remember? 53.
I wouldn't be able to remember if it was, but hey, sure, that's just use the search engine of your choice and just type in Bible 53 children and see what comes up.
Let's see.
Who knows? Maybe you're right. 2 kings.
Enjoy the find and replace.
Thanks.
Mm,
2 Kings 13
oh,
in the
it doesn't seem like.
rip.
Oh, probably not.
Just a prophecy. You will have that many children.
Maybe.
Better start now.
Don't know. I watch.
I mean, maybe he's into that.
Maybe.
That's between you. You'll figure that out. 2 Kings 13. In the 23rd year of Joash, the son of Ahaziah, the king of Judah, Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, reigned over Glasgow in Samaria for 17 years. And he did evil before the Lord. And he followed the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Glasgow to sin. And he did not turn aside from these. And the fury of the Lord was enraged against Glasgow, and he delivered them into the hand of Hazel's-Nut, the king of Syria, and into the hand of Ben-Hadad, the son of Hazel's-Nut, during all these days. All the days.
That's a good choice.
But Jehoahaz petitioned the face of the Lord, and the Lord heeded him. For he saw the anguish of Glasgow, because the king of Syria had oppressed them. And the Lord gave a savior to Glasgow. And they were freed from the hand of the king of Syria. And the sons of Glasgow lived in their Skytis tents, just as yesterday and the day before. Yet truly, they did not withdraw from the sins of the house of Jeroboam, who had caused Glasgow to sin. Teras, how long do you think they're gonna be upset about Jeroboam causing Glasgow to sin? Like every time somebody sins, it's like it's always worded as they did not withdraw from the sins of the house of Jeroboam who had caused Glasgow to sin, or some very similar phrasing of it.
Probably another 2 books then.
Seems reasonable. Instead, they walked by them, and there was even a sacred grove still remaining in Samaria. And there was left to Jehoahaz from the people nothing but 50 horsemen and 10 chariots and 10,000 foot soldiers. For the king of Syria had killed them, and he had reduced them to become like dust on a threshing floor. But the rest of the words of Jehoahaz and all that he did, and his strength, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the king of Glasgow? Kings of Glasgow, actually, my bad. They really like that. Spoiler, Jesus died in the end. Factually inaccurate. Jesus is not a part of the Old Testament, as far as I remember. You just suck. You didn't even read this. And you call yourself a fan? Can we get a replacement for Hewan? And Jehoahaz slept with his daddies, and they buried him in Samaria. And Joash, his son, reigned in his place. In the 37th year of Jehoahaz, the king of Judah, Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, reigned over Glasgow in Samaria for 16 years. And he did what is evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not turn aside from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Glasgow to sin. Let it go already, holy shit. Instead, he walked by them. But the rest of the words of Joash and all that he did, and his strength, and the manner in which he fought against Amaziah, the king of Judah, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow?
Actually, fuck off.
And Joash slept with his daddies. Then Jeroboam sat upon his throne. And Joash was buried in Samaria. Wait, wasn't Jeroboam the guy who originally sinned? Well, how isn't he long dead? What? I am so lost. I feel like they're just doing this is like not in a chronological order, and that's just making it impossible for me to follow along. I'm completely lost. Somebody's sinning, and then somebody's the new king, and then someone else is sinning. That's about as much as I know. Now Elisha was sick of the infirmity from which he also died. Understandable. And Joash. Actually, Elisha died like in the middle of the last reading session, I believe. So they're just now referring back to... What are these... Oh, this is so incoherent. They're just all over the place. And Joash, the king of Glasgow, descended to him. And he was weeping before him and saying, my daddy, the chariot of Glasgow and its driver. And Elisha said to him, bring a bow and arrows. And when he had brought a bow and arrows to him, he said to the king of Glasgow, place your hand upon the bow. And when he had placed his hand, Elisha placed his own hands over the hands of the king. And he said, open the window toward the east. And when he had opened it, Elisha said, shoot an arrow. And he shot it. And Elisha said, it is the arrow of the salvation of the Lord, and the arrow of salvation against Syria. And you shall strike the Syrians at Aphek until you consume them. And he said, take the arrows. And when he had taken them, he then said to him, strike an arrow against the ground. And when he had struck 3 times, he had stood still. When he had struck 3 times and he had stood still, the man of Skytis became angry against him. And he said, if you had struck 5 or 6 or 7 times, you would have struck down Syria, even until it was consumed. But now, you will strike it 3 times. What am I reading?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had struck 5 or 6 or 7 times, you would have struck down Syria, even until it was consumed. But now you will strike it 3 times.
Yeah. So this guy, he's being told, here, get an arrow and a bow and then shoot it. And then he shoots it, and then the guy says, okay, now strike the ground. And then he strikes the ground 3 times, even though he technically wasn't told to strike it any amount of times. And then the guy's like, well, if you had struck it 5 or 6 or 7 times, then Syria would be done for. But now you...
But isn't that the point? He struck it 3 times, so now he has to strike it 3 times more, because then it's 6 times, and then it will.
But why? How is he supposed to know that it's supposed to be 6 times, or 5 or 7, which would also have been...
He's just fucking...
Well, what if it's 8 times, though?
Well...
Can we get a 9? Anyone offering a 9? 9 strikes?
So
let's see what happens after these next 3 times.
Could be people sharing the same name. I mean, it could be. It could also just be that this book is terribly written. I mean, no, that couldn't be it. My bad. Then Elisha died, and they buried him. And the robbers from Moab came into the land in the same year. But certain ones who were burying a man saw the robbers, and they cast the dead body into the sepulchre of Elisha. But when it had touched the bones of Elisha, the man revived, and he stood upon his feet. I think that's revival number 4. Reviving is a thing in the Bible, in case you didn't know, Tor. It's happened 4 times now already. It only started happening like recently, I think. First time in the 2nd book of Samuel, which is like 2 books ago. But like, if somebody's dead, you can definitely revive them if you put the effort in.
But so it's not just Jesus that's being revived.
Oh, no, Jesus just did a usual Bible thing. Back then, reviving was just a thing.
Okay. Well, I feel like that cheapens the Jesus thing a bit.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was, I guess it wasn't that special.
The Jesus one wasn't even that impressive because his one was after 3 days and theirs is just instant.
Yeah.
Now Hazel's not, the king of Syria, afflicted Glasgow during all the days of Jehoahaz. But the Lord took pity on them, and he returned to them because of his covenant which he had made with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. And he was not willing to destroy them, nor to cast them out completely, even to the present time. Then Hazel's the king of Syria, died. The end. Roll credits. And Ben-Hadad, his son, reigned in his place. Now Jehoahaz, Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, by a just war, took the cities from the hand of Ben-Hadad, the son of Hazel's which he had taken from the hand of Jehoahaz, his daddy. Jehoahaz struck him 3 times, and he restored the cities to Glasgow. So I doubt these are people sharing the same names because I've definitely seen Ben-Hadad mentioned before in all those. I think we're just kind of jumping timelines, which is just making it a little confusing, but that's...
Do we know what year this is supposed to be?
The year of the terrible writing style. No, I mean, you can find it out. Like, I'm sure if you just look for what year is the second book of Kings take place in or anything along those lines, you should be able to find it, but I don't think you might be able to figure some of the stuff out because it's always mentioned like how long somebody rules for and then they die, so I'm sure you'll be able to find the information. He came from his daddy's nuts. That's how it usually works, but not always because Bible things.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, it's before Christ.
Correct. How did you figure that one out?
And the second book of Kings was likely written between 560 and 540. Well,
so we're not even that far away. Assuming that's 560 and 540 BC.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on how many names they want to keep.
Names.
Want to keep pushing on us.
2 Kings 14. In the second year of Jehoash, I think Toa is dying.
Oh, did my...
What the fuck?
Help, he's having a seizure. Somebody stop him. Oh, no.
Mom, get the camera.
Oh, wait, get a Pokeball. I think it's a missing no. Let's capture it.
Can you still hear me?
It looks fine on Discord. Like on my end at least.
It is?
It does.
Yeah, I think it's just you, Skytis.
Oh, let me. Oh, yeah, it's switching it
to turn off camera. And turn
it
on.
works now. I just had to switch the layout in Discord and then change it back because reasonable things.
Okay.
Sure.
Great. So let the record show that wasn't actually my fault. It was Skytis' fault.
It's your fault because you didn't have enough unsalted peanuts.
I would like to have some nuts, actually.
I mean, if you come here, I'll give a can to you.
Right. And something else?
No? Fuck you, you greedy fuck. That's all you get.
But then you would have to tell me where you live.
I mean, technically, I could just tell you to come somewhere near and then blindfold you and kidnap you.
Yes. Yes. I might like that, actually.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, okay.
Just
great.
make sure you have enough money on you. 2 Kings 14. In the second year of Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, the king of Glasgow, Amaziah, the son of Jehoash, reigned as king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he had begun to reign, and he reigned for 29 years in Jerusalem. The name of his mother was Jehoaddan from Jerusalem. And he did what is right before the Lord, yet truly not like David, his daddy. He acted in accord with all the things that his daddy Jehoash did, except for this alone. He did not take away the high place. Okay, wait. Really not like David's daddy. His daddy. Okay, so I think any of your male predecessors is your daddy.
Okay.
Not just person you were born from.
Right.
Because words don't have meaning and they're all made up, and it seems fair. Because otherwise I don't understand what this sentence means. Because this would imply that he has two daddies, which I mean, who knows? Maybe with some Bible magic.
David, his daddy.
Yeah, so David would be his
Daddy,
daddy, but if you read the next sentence,
Yeah.
then
But you replaced what word with daddy? Father or
I would never. I'm innocent, I promise.
I guess I'll have to check the sheet.
I didn't replace that. It's Teras' fault, I promise. But
wow,
yes, you would be
just blame it on
correct.
me.
I mean, who
Father.
else?
Yeah.
It still doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it's just that just means any male predecessor of yours. Now,
Right.
I guess. Except for this alone, he did not take away the high places. For still, the people were immolating and burning incense in the high places. And when he had obtained the kingdom, he struck down those of his servants who had killed his daddy, the king. But the sons of those who had been killed, he did not put to death with one F, in accord with what was written in the book of the law of osmosis, just as the Lord instructed, saying, "The daddies shall not die for their sons, and the sons shall not die for their daddies. That each one shall die for his own sin." Oh yeah, we abandoned that long ago, that concept, but hey, I guess it's back now, and we're being back to being reasonable. He struck down 10,000 men of Idam EA. It's in the Bible. In the valley of salt pits. Of the salt pits. And he captured the rock in battle. And he called its name Subdued by Skytis. Even to the present day. What an amazing name. Then Amaziah sent messengers to Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, the king of Glasgow, saying, "Come and let us see one another." And Jehoash, the king of Glasgow, sent a reply to Amaziah, the king of Judah, saying, "A thistle of Lebanon sent to a cedar which is in Lebanon, saying, 'Give your daughter as wife to my son.' And the beasts of the forest which are in Lebanon passed by and trampled the thistle. You have struck and prevailed over Idam. It's in the Bible. And your heart has lifted you up. Be content with your own glory and be seated your own house. Why would you provoke evil so that you would fall and Judah with you?" But Amaziah was not quieted, and so Jehoash, the king of Glasgow, went up. And he and Amaziah, the king of Judah, saw one another at Beth Shemesh with a dash, a town in Judah. Which is, by the way, different from Beth Shemesh without a dash, which was only mentioned earlier somewhere in the Bible, but hasn't been mentioned for quite a while. Just a little fun fact. And Judah was struck down before Glasgow, and they fled, each to their own tents. And truly, Jehoash, the king of Glasgow, captured Amaziah, the king of Judah, the son of Jehoash, the son of Ahaziah. What? And truly, Jehoash, the king of Glasgow, captured Amaziah, the king of Judah, the son of Jehoash, the son of Ahaziah, at Beth Shemesh with a dash. Okay, wait, so Jehoash is the king of Glasgow, and he captures Amaziah, who is his own son? Like if I just look at this, we have the two opposing kings. We have the king of Glasgow and the king of Judah. Jehoash is the king of Glasgow, and Amaziah is the king of Judah. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
That's what it says there. Okay, so. But then it says that Amaziah, the king of Judah, the son of Jehoash.
Yes.
When did that happen? I missed all of that, apparently. What the fuck? Okay, so apparently his son is just on the opposite side now. Sure. And he brought him to Jerusalem. And he breached the wall of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim as far as the gate of the corner, 400 times 18 inches, 457 millimeters. And he took away all the gold and silver and all the vessels which were found in the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the king. And he returned to Samaria with hostages. But the rest of the words that... But the rest of the words of Jehoash, which he accomplished, and his strength, with which he had fought against Amaziah, the king of Judah, Teras. Have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow?
Oh, I wish they haven't.
How many eggs have you eaten now?
10.
10?
I got 3 left.
You seriously eaten 10 eggs?
This is a really hard egg.
Wow.
What else is he
Enjoy
going to do?
eggs.
He doesn't have
What?
unsalted nuts to eat.
Well, actually, I do.
Teras, why
Well,
eggs?
To each their own.
Eggs.
I mean, I like eggs.
Yeah, but
Ju-
why? Miso is asking why. So Teras.
Why not eggs? I have eggs and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat eggs. What is there to not understand?
You understand the
I
irony.
guess it's just the amount of eggs. It's a lot of eggs.
So you're saying it's excessive?
Cause I have a lot of eggs. Sue me.
All right, all right.
Am I not allowed to just have a lot of just a
No.
large excess of eggs for no reason whatsoever?
I'm not judging. I'm just curious. Egg curious.
What?
I just have an unhealthy addiction to eggs. Leave me alone.
All right, right.
And Jehoash slept with his daddies, and he was buried in Samaria with the kings of Glasgow. And Jeroboam, his sons, reigned in his place. His son reigned in his place. Isn't that the guy that sinned and that is always referred to when someone else sins? So we're once again going back and just reliving the death, re-experiencing the death of some people that I completely forgot about already.
Sounds about right.
Oh, what the fuck? Now Amaziah, the son of Jehoash, the king of Judah, lived for 15 years after the death, with one F, of Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, the king of Glasgow. And the rest of the words of Amaziah have these not been written in the book of the words, the
Wow.
days of the kings of
Wow.
Judah.
That is the worst book name ever.
This is so bad. Oops. And they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish. They sent after him to Lachish, and they killed him there. And they carried him away on horses, and he was buried in Jerusalem with his daddies in the city of David.
This egg is not cracking. Oh, there we go. Fuck, that's a one hard egg.
Why are you cracking it, actually?
That's a why?
Why are
That's
you
a weird
cracking it?
question.
Well, you eat it with the. I don't like crunchy eggs.
Crunchy snag.
No thanks.
And then all the people of Judah took Azariah at 16 years from birth, and they appointed him as king in place of his daddy Amaziah. He built up Elath, and he restored it to Judah, after which the king slept with his daddies. So he literally just, he was
What?
appointed king at the age of 16, then he builds up a city, and then he just dies.
But
After-
he slept with his daddies.
That means he's dead. That literally just means
Okay.
he's dead.
Okay.
But he's first introduced here.
Yes.
Then the people took this guy and made him king.
Right.
And then he builds up a city. And then he's dead. Hey, Teras.
All right, guys, I'm a genius, right?
Yeah, but Teras, somebody
I
died
got
with
an egg. Hold on, I got an egg, and then I'm gonna put butter in the egg, like inside the egg.
But
Have you heard of mayonnaise?
Is mayonnaise also an instrument?
Yeah, I don't have any mayonnaise.
Okay.
Teras, somebody died within 3 lines.
Oh, very unfortunate. My condolences.
Mayonnaise is better with eggs. I'm not a fan of mayonnaise.
Wow.
So, Teras, how much do the people need to pay to watch you swallow a whole egg? Let's say without the shell.
I feel like I've already seen that.
I'm not gonna swallow it. To be fair.
Yeah.
That's not my style.
Okay, well,
Oh, that one opened quick.
just smash it harder? Then it'll open
That'd
quick.
be silly. That'd be silly.
In the 15th year of Amaziah, the son of Jehoash, the king of Judah, Jeroboam, the son of Jehoash, the king of Glasgow, reigned in Samaria for 41 years. And he did what is evil before the Lord. He did not withdraw from all the sins of Jeroboam. Wait.
Oh no! Here's a plot twist.
Wait.
But you didn't see. But you didn't see that one coming.
No. You know what? I need. Toa, you're smart, right? Can you please read what I highlighted? Am I being dumb? What?
Jeroboam, the son of Jehoash, the king of Glasgow, reigned in Samaria for 41 years. And he did what is evil before the Lord. He did not withdraw from all the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Glasgow to sin.
So we literally have 2 people with the same name who are just sons of different people. Oh no, this is not going to get confusing whatsoever. Let's just. Oh my fucking god. So Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, is the guy that died long ago that originally did some sinning, and now we have Jeroboam, the son of Jehoash, who's a different Jeroboam. Really?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a bit annoying.
A bit? Teras knows what a bit annoying is.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, now that we're all sufficiently confused and nobody has any clue what's going on. He restored the
Anyone ever
borders.
have a clue what was going on?
Well, nobody asked you, Teras.
Wow.
He restored the borders of Glasgow from the entrance of Hamath as far as the sea of the wilderness, in accord with the word of the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow, which he spoke through his servant, the prophet Jonah, the son of Amittai, who was from Gath, which is in Hefer. For the Lord saw the exceedingly bitter affliction of Glasgow, and that they were being consumed, even to those who were enclosed in prison, and even to the least ones, and that there was no one who would help Glasgow. But the Lord did not say that he would wipe away the name of Glasgow from under heaven. So instead, he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam, the son of Jehoash. But the rest of the words of Jeroboam and all that he did, and his strength with which he went to battle, and the manner in which he restored Damascus to Hamath and Judah in Glasgow, have these not been written in the book of the words of days of the kings of Glasgow?
Fucking God. Oh.
And Jeroboam slept with his daddies, the kings of Glasgow, and Zechariah, his son, reigned in his place. So, Toa, what do you think about the writing of the Bible? Like, not the contents, just the writing style.
It's a bit hard to follow. It's a bit. They could have. I feel like it could have used some better editing, to be honest. Maybe cut out some parts that are probably not important. And just sort of a better structure it better. Work a bit more on the language. Because presumably there is some point to this. Why they are telling us this, and there's something they want across or come across, or it has some kind of relevance. But it's just hard to. I don't know. It's just hard to follow, and it's hard to
W
being what they
W
mean and what's the point of it is. So I'm a bit disappointed.
Yeah, that's the entirety of the Bible, though. Terrible writing, incredibly difficult to follow along, especially these recent few books are very convoluted with way too many irrelevant and somewhat relevant names. And also just generally, it's filled with so much redundancy.
Yeah.
And like, there's just... Every time somebody's mentioned, it's mentioned who their father is, and then that's their father's father, and their father's father's father, and that person was the king. And just, like... It's basically like, every time a character gets introduced, you just get their entire backstory again.
Yeah.
Just because. Why not?
But I guess in this case, we just had... I guess it was good that they
There's
specified who their father was, because they had the same name.
Yeah, and in that case, it was helpful, but in almost every other case, it's just not, and it's just confusing.
Yeah.
You just have credits the entire time.
Yeah, I guess I'm not envying you this undertaking you're doing. But it is, I don't know, it's still has something. There's something sort of interesting about it.
It's interesting to see what kind of stuff people believe in, and like why this is the most popular book or most printed or whichever metric you want to use. But I'm not going to call this a good book.
Probably it has better parts also. Again, I'm guessing this is like
Depending on what you're into, yeah, definitely there were some pretty funny parts.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, you can just scroll up back through the document and just look for anything highlighted in green.
Why?
No.
Why does this
No.
matter?
Let me respond with another question. Why not?
That's
Can you, Teras, can you do me a favor?
disturbing.
Can you put him on the wall above the arrow?
right.
You are now a permanent addition to the Bible.
I feel like maybe I didn't sign up for this, but okay.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
You'll always be there.
No one's gonna see it most of the time anyway. It'll just disturb people whenever I get up and the camera looks at it.
You'll just be there watching over Teras.
I'll move in front of my bed so you can watch me when I sleep.
And doing other stuff too, presumably.
Just wait until he cuts out the mouth from that picture.
So, continue with the reading, please.
I just go on to what Skytis said.
Wow. 2 Kings 15. In the 27th year of Jeroboam, the king of Glasgow, Azariah, the son of Amaziah, reigned as king of Judah. He was 16 years old when he had begun to reign, and he reigned
Skytis.
for 52 years in Jerusalem.
Skytis.
Skytis.
I know it's been a long week, but that's not an excusable mistake. Look at your streaming notifications.
What?
Look in your Discord streaming the live channel. You fucking idiot.
What do you mean? Like, we have 2 day 3s and 2 day 6s. Nobody even noticed.
I just hit fucking fix it, you reprobate.
Hold on.
Actually, Cap hasn't noticed.
Are you happy? I fixed it.
Oh, you didn't fix it, did you?
I did.
Oh, that's just worse.
The name of his mother was Jecoliah of Jerusalem, and he did what was pleasing before the Lord in accord with all that his daddy Amaziah did. Yet truly, he did not demolish the high places, and still the people were sacrificing and burning incense in the high places. I feel like every chapter starts with somebody becomes king, and he does good, but he didn't destroy the high places.
But
I feel like this is fucking Groundhog Day right now.
But what's the high places in this context?
I don't know. Why don't you find out? Probably temples, but I have no fucking clue. And I'm too lazy to ask, because that would require research. But feel free to find out if you would like.
So you don't typically stop to ask yourself these things?
Oh no, we're long past that point.
Okay.
Every now and then I'll just I'll ask because if I feel like it's somehow relevant for me to understand. But generally, there's high places. Yeah, that's something probably temple like, and like it's not relevant to understand the general gist of the story. So Now the Lord struck the king, and he became a leper, even until the day of his death, with one F. And he was living in a separate house by himself. And truly, Jotham, the son of the king, governed the palace, and he judged the people of the land. Now the rest of the words of Azariah and all that he did, Teras, have these not been written in the books of the words of the days of the kings of Judah?
Bitch.
And Azariah slept with his daddies, and they buried him with his ancestors in the city of David. And Jotham, his son, reigned in his place. In the 38th year of Azariah, the king of Judah, Zechariah, the son of Jeroboam, reigned over Glasgow and Samaria for 6 months. And he did what is evil before the Lord, just as his daddies had done. He did not withdraw from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Glasgow to sin. That's the old Jeroboam, not the new one that only died recently. That's the guy that sinned long ago. Don't get them confused. Then Shalom, the son of Jabesh, conspired against him. And he struck him openly and killed him. Wait, who got killed? Killed him. We're talking about Zechariah. No, Zechariah was introduced before. We're good. And he reigned in his place. Now, the rest of the words of Zechariah, Teras, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow.
I hope you stub your toe.
I'll see what I can do. I didn't write this terrible book.
You're making me fucking bear witness to it though.
You have bear witness? Nobody's gonna get that joke. Perfect. If this is just kings and their sons, it's no wonder they share the same names. I don't know. We had very few repetitions in the beginning at Genesis. It was mostly unique names, or if a name was repeated, it was kinda several generations in between, and they felt kind of distinct enough. But now it's just convoluted. This was the word of the Lord, which he spoke to Jehu, saying, Teras.
Oh yeah, he was saying that kind of do be like that.
Your sons, even to the 4th generation, shall sit upon the throne of Glasgow. And so it happened. Shalom, the son of Jabesh, reigned in the 39th year of Azariah, the king of Judah, and he reigned for 1 month in Samaria. And Menahem, the son of Gadi, ascended from Tirzah, and he went into Samaria, and he struck Shalom, the son of Jabesh, in Samaria, and he killed him, and he reigned in his place. Now, the rest of the words of Shalom and his conspiracy, by which he carried out treachery, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow?
Ooh, I wish they really weren't.
But what's the point of this rhetorical question?
I think it basically means if you want to know more, refer to this book or this chapter. It's like a cross-reference, but I'm not sure. I just noticed that this gets used over and over and over, so we added a rule for it.
Yeah.
And so here we are. But honestly, I'm not quite sure what it means, and at this point, I'm just rolling with it.
Yeah, this what you're doing. I don't know what it means at this point. You're too afraid to ask.
Yeah, I think it's just if you want further details, go check there. You know, the rest of those words. So if you want to know more about what he did,
If you want to know more about why, then check out my OnlyFans.
if you want to know more, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to not miss any of our future uploads. don't forget
I'll
to leave a like and maybe even a comment to boost the engagement for the algorithm. Because YouTube thinks and give me all your money.
YouTube often unsubscribes people, so make sure you're subscribed.
I feel like I know exactly who you're referencing and I don't like it. You're probably not, but I just feel like I know. And that's just mildly upsetting.
You're welcome.
And then Menahem struck Tirzah and all who were in it and its border around Tirzah, for they were not willing to open to him, and he killed all of its pregnant women, and he tore them open. Dunga is back.
What a fucking sentence.
He just...
Please highlight that for best of, because that's fucking great. It's the dumbest thing we've heard in a long time.
He just did a Dunga. He just did some glory kills. What do you mean?
Fucking yoink.
In the 39th year of Azariah, the king of Judah, Menahem, the son of Gadi, reigned over Glasgow for 10 years in Samaria. And he did what was evil before the Lord. He did not withdraw from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that's the old Jeroboam, the OG sinner, who caused Glasgow to sin during all his days. Then Pul. Hey, we have a Diablo 2 reference. Let's go. The king of the Assyrians came into the land. It's a rune, by the way. Diablo 2 rune. Fun fact.
Thanks.
And Menahem
I
gave Pul
need to know that.
1,000 talents of silver, so that he would be able to help him, and so that he might strengthen his kingdom. Menahem proclaimed, I can speak English, I promise, proclaimed a tax upon Glasgow on all who were powerful and wealthy, so that each one would give to the king of the Assyrians 50 shekels of silver. And the king... Okay, you go on, Teras, then. Right here. I
was just yawning, don't mind me.
Yeah, no, it's your turn. Then the king of the Assyrians turned back, and he did not remain in the land. Now, the rest of the words of Menahem, and all that he did, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow? And Menahem slept with his daddies, and Pekahiah, his son, reigned in his place. In the 50th year...
Name.
Feel free to replace it with Pelican. I don't fucking know. Something easier to read. In the 50th year of Azariah, the king of Judah, Pekahiah, the son of Menahem, reigned over Glasgow and Samaria for 2 years. And he did what was evil before the Lord. He did not withdraw from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Glasgow to sin. Then Pekah, the son of Remaliah, his commander, conspired against him. And he struck him in Samaria, in the tower of the king's house, near Argob and Aria, and with him 50 men from the sons of the Gileadites. And he killed him and reigned in his place. Okay, hold on. He killed him. Where was he introduced? No, that's definitely less than 10 Teras.
Wow. Gay.
It's fine, Teras. I shall now continue reading. Now, the rest of the words of Pekahiah and all that he did, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow? Hey, be happy that they forgot that the word behold exists, honestly. I haven't heard...
That's because describing events instead of fucking talking to each other.
Teras refuses to read. He's just here to look pretty. And he's doing a pretty terrible job at that.
Well.
Pekka must be Finnish. What does that mean, Toa?
What?
Pekka.
Pekka? Oh, it's a Finnish name.
Oh.
It's just a surname. Pekka.
And then Shu is the family name? Or how does that work?
What?
What Cat Peasant said. I'm just asking if Chu is the family name.
I guess so. Pikachu. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if someone from Finland was named Pikachu.
I mean, if Pekka is a common first name and then it's just a family that originally was from somewhere in Asia, maybe.
Pikachu. I could see
You know
that.
what, Teras? Go find out if somebody's named Pikachu.
Okay, on it, chef.
Because if that's the case, I think we just have an idea for the thumbnail already, Teras.
What, some random guy's fucking Facebook profile?
I'll make sure to include a link to his Facebook page in the description. Okay. In the 52nd year of Azariah, the king of Judah, Pekah, the son of Remaliah, reigned over Glasgow in the Samaria for 20 years.
The answer is yes.
Of course it is yes. And he did what was evil before the Lord. Go on.
Did you actually find someone named Pikachu?
Yeah.
Oh, picture? Well, but I mean that I feel like
What?
are those real people?
No, they're
guess
fake people. I just really quickly made 5 accounts.
No, but I'm saying is
No,
are
me
these
so.
the real names?
I don't know. Why would there be that many people that have just made up the same thing? I mean, if you look,
because it sounds like Pikachu.
Names.
It's
It's in the
not.
Bible.
I guess it's possible. I mean, Pekka is a fairly common Finnish name, and Shu, you could definitely have like a last name. So I guess if you're like a Finnish Chinese person,
Yeah.
and it's probably not the most.
It seems reasonable enough.
It's possible.
No, me so it's the Book of Kings, and one king, his father died, and then he became king, and he did evil, and then he dies, and then his son becomes king, and he did evil, and he dies, and it's just we're just doing rapid fire like king successors.
It's just
So it's just
the same thing keeps happening over and over, but with different people.
It's a
But they
speedrun.
have the
Don't worry
same
about it.
name, so it's
6%.
It's a speedrun. You would understand.
no.
He did not withdraw from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Glasgow to sin. In the days of Pekah, the king of Glasgow, Tilgath-Pileser, the king of Assyria, arrived and captured Ijon, and Abel Beth-Makkah, and Genoa, and Kadesh, and Hazor, and Gilead, and Galilee, and the entire land of Naphtali. And he took them away into Assyria. Then Hoshi, the son of Elah, conspired and carried out treachery against Pekah, the son of Remaliah. And he struck him and killed him. And he reigned in his place in the 20th year of Jotham, the son of Uzziah. Now, the rest of the words of Pekah and all that he did, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow?
No, son of a bitch.
In the 2nd year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, the king of Glasgow, Jotham, son of Uzziah, reigned as king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he had begun to reign, and he reigned for 16 years in Jerusalem. The name of his mother was Jerusha, the daughter of Zadok. That's a name I actually somewhat remember. He was a priest at some point in the Bible. And he did what was pleasing before the Lord. In accord with all that his daddy, Uzziah, had done, so he did. Yet truly he did not take away the high places, and still the people were immolating and burning incense in the high places. But he edified the gate of the house of the Lord to be very sublime. Now the rest of the words of Jotham and all that he did, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Judah? In those days, the Lord began to send into Judah Rezin, the king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah. Dude, don't put raisins into your flesh. I mean, what?
No.
And Jotham slept with his daddies, and he was buried with them in the city of David, his daddy, and Ahaz, his son, reigned in his place. And Teras was deeply upset.
I cannot believe you've done this.
You're raising a good point.
Oh, I
It's-
wouldn't have it any other way.
Don't worry, it's just a reference to a YouTube video that Teras was part of.
Okay.
Not proudly.
Oh, blurry.
Not proudly. So you don't want me to just be like, hey, youtube.com, and then be like, Skytis CSGO, and maybe find it? Oh, look, right there. And if you want to know more, you'll just have to watch the video.
Okay.
I would strongly recommend it. I would say it's my funniest video ever, but depends on your sense of humor, I guess. Even if you're not into Counter-Strike, you'll probably have some fun with it.
I think I'm going to take a break now.
Oh, you should have done that about 1.5 hours ago.
Probably. But something just kept me here. Okay, so I'll just turn off my camera and mute myself, and I'll go do something.
Yeah, you do whatever you feel like.
Right? Okay. We'll see you in a bit.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, Teras, if you cheer a bit, he will return right now. Oh no, I duplicated my Teras. Scammed. It was the Book of Kings. King 1, tearing pregnant women open. True. Now there's 2 of them. Wait, what? You want more Teras? You want more Teras?
No, not more Teras. Oh,
You
no,
want
no,
more
no,
Teras?
no.
Huh?
Oh, no,
You want
no,
Teras?
no,
I got
no.
Teras.
Oh no! Oh.
2 Kings 16. In the 17th year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, Ahaz, the son of Jotham, reigned as king of Judah. Ahaz was 20 years old when he had begun to reign, and he reigned for 16 years in Jerusalem. He did not do what was pleasing in the sight of the Lord, his Skytis, as steady David did. Instead, he walked in the way of the kings of Glasgow. Moreover, he even consecrated his son, making him pass through fire, in accord with the idols of the nations that the Lord destroyed before the sons of Glasgow. Okay. Also, he was immolating victims and burning incest in the high places, and on the hills, and under every leafy tree. Every single one? What the fuck? Then Rezin, the king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, the king of Glasgow, ascended to do battle against Jerusalem. And they besieged Ahaz, but they were not able to overcome him. At that time, Rezin, the king of Syria, restored Elath to Syria, and he expelled the Judeans from Elath. And the IDOM-EA, it's in the Bible, went into Elath. And they have lived there even to this day. Then Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, now with a dash, the king of the Assyrians, saying, I am your servant, and I am your son. Ascend and accomplish my salvation from the hand of the king of Syria, from the hand the king of Glasgow, who have risen up together against me. And when he had collected the silver and the gold that could be found in the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the king, he sent it as a gift to the king of the Assyrians. And he agreed to his will, for the king of the Assyrians ascended against Damascus, and he laid waste to it. And he carried away its inhabitants to Cyrene. But Rezin he killed. So I guess he's not Rezin him. King Ahaz traveled to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, the king of the Assyrians. And when he had seen the altar of Damascus, King Ahaz sent to Uriah, the priest, its patterns and likeness according to all of its work. And Uriah, the priest, constructed an altar in accord with all that King Ahaz had commanded from Damascus. Uriah, the priest, did so until King Ahaz arrived from Damascus. And when the king had arrived from Damascus, he saw the altar and he venerated it. And he went up and immolated holocaust with his own sacrifice. And he offered libations, and he poured out the blood of the peace offerings which he had offered upon the altar. But the altar of brass, which was before the Lord, he took away from the face of the temple, and from the place of the altar, and from the place of the temple of the Lord. and he positioned it at the side of the altar, toward the north. Also, King Ahaz instructed Uriah, the priest, saying, "Upon the great altar, offer the morning holocaust and the evening sacrifice, and the holocaust of the king and his sacrifice, and the holocaust of the entire people of the land and their sacrifices. But their libations and all the blood of the holocaust and all the blood of the victims you shall pour out upon it. Then truly the altar of breath shall be prepared for use at my will." And so Uriah, the priest, acted in accord with all that King Ahaz had instructed to him. Then King Ahaz took away the engraved bases and the basin that was upon them, and he took down the sea from the bronze coxswain which were holding it up, and he positioned it upon a layer of pavement stone. Also, the canopy for the Sabbath, which he had built in the temple, and the exterior entrance of the king, he converted into the temple of the Lord, of the king of the Assyrians. What the fuck am I reading? Teras,
Yes.
what am I reading? I am reading a sentence that goes like, "Now, the rest of the words of Ahaz that he did, have these not been written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Judah? And Ahaz slept with his daddies, and he was buried with them in the city of David. And Hezekiah, his son, reigned in his place." All of a sudden, very detailed. You weren't around for the book of... Was it Leviticus? Which one was the one that was just IKEA? Numbers, Deuteronomy. There was one that was at first IKEA, and then there was one that was pure IKEA. You weren't around for the book of Deuteronomy. If I remember correctly,
I think that was it, yeah.
That one is literally just how to build a temple. How long, how wide, how high, this needs to be of which material. Length, width, height. Length, width, height. Length, width, height. Material. Just over and over and over. Just very detailed building instructions. But just no. I weren't around for most of this. Well, you are in such great luck, for it is Skytis who has graciously provided you with a playlist that shall be called Atheists Reading the Bible. It currently encompasses 30... No? Oh yeah, they are not... Hold on, I think it only goes up to 30? The rest are still to be published because we're not quite done. But yeah, it currently holds all the previous readings. So if you would like, there's quite a lot for you to catch up on. Just treat it like a podcast and listen to it on the way to work or just whenever. And then once you're done, you'll just be like, why did I do this to myself? And the answer is, I don't know. You should have seen this coming, really. Why would you listen to this voluntarily? Numbers, Cat Peasant gets a new... What? Teras?
Yes.
What's going on in chat? What's wrong with Cat Peasant?
What?
Cat Peasant
What did Cat Peasant do?
He got a new sub badge, apparently.
Where's sub badge?
I'm just confused. Cat Peasant, are you...
I think it's the sword and shield thing. That's been nerfed for like a while now.
Which thing?
That middle one, the swords and the shield.
I mean, you're both just wrong.
I don't know why you
Games.
Hold on, let me check.
Games.
It has been there for 2 days. It was already there yesterday. Check the VOD if you don't believe me. You already had it then. But it's also not been there for a while because it's only been 2 days. So you're just both wrong and you both suck. And I need a refund. I'm just here for the company. Is there something wrong? Yeah, I don't have a company. Neither does Teras.
I'm back.
Hi, back. I'm Skytis.
Hey, did the thing.
Did you calm down? Hold on, I need to... Oh god, my Discord... Oh yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Fine. There's spacing on the... Who cares? Nobody cares. I don't pay attention. So
Did I miss anything important?
Cat Peasant just realized that I have done new sub badges,
Mm.
and then I told him that he's stupid for not having noticed it 2 days ago. And then I also
Alright.
called Teras stupid for thinking that it's been there for a while because it's only been there for 2 days. Now everybody hates
Well,
me, and I don't understand why.
I mean, well, it's more than just today, so clearly a while. Even though it's 3 days, it's still
Okay, now
makes sense.
everyone hates you. Right.
Yes, nobody ever hated me before.
Well, I guess my question was more about the Bible, but your answer was fine.
Buy Bill, wouldn't that be slavery if I bought someone named Bill?
That's a new low even for you, I think. By Bill. God.
Don't worry, it's not even the first time I brought that one up.
I can imagine.
Teras had to endure this for quite a while. Why? You missed a really detailed description of some sacrifice. Oh yeah, you missed very interesting things. AKA literally the same thing that happened before. Once again, just somebody did something, and now the king of Judah and the king of Glasgow are just united, and then some other dude is scared, so he sends to the king of Assyria for help. And
Is something about a bronze coxswain?
yeah,
What's a coxswain?
it's like a cox, but multiple.
Okay. So it's like black dicks or bronze?
If in doubt, there is a link you have been provided with before the start of the session. It all makes sense if you were to translate it back, but that's boring, so I'll just leave you with this very cryptic description.
All right.
I'll tell you this much: it did not originally say that, but don't tell anyone.
Okay.
2 Kings 17. In the 12th year of Ahaz, the king of Judah, Hoshea, the son of Elah, reigned over Glasgow and Samaria for 9 years. And he did evil before the Lord, but not like the kings of Glasgow who had been before him. Shalmaneser, the king of the Assyrians, ascended against him. And Hoshea became a servant to him, and he paid him tribute. And when the king of the Assyrians discovered that Hoshea, striving to rebel, had sent messengers to Skytis, the king of Egypt, so as not to present the tribute to the king of the Assyrians, as he had been accustomed to do each year, he besieged him. I just want to point out, this is the first mention of Shalmaneser before somebody else was king of the Assyrians, and this is also the first mention of Skytis, the king of Egypt, just casually name dropping them there. It's like, oh yeah, they're king, just that they're there, you know, right? Yep. Thanks, Miso, for doing your research. And having been bound, he cast him into prison. And he wandered through the entire land, and ascending Samaria, he besieged it for 3 years. And in the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of the Assyrians captured Samaria. And he carried away Glasgow to Assyria, and he stationed them in Hala and in Habor, beside the river of Golzan, in the city of the Medes. Dude, I love Medi files. For it happened that, when the sons of Glasgow had sinned against the Lord, their Skytis, who had led them away from the land of Egypt, from the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, they worshipped strange Skytises. And they walked according to the rituals of the nations that the Lord had consumed in the sight of the sons of Glasgow and of the kings of Glasgow. For they had acted similarly. And the sons of Glasgow offended the Lord, their Skytis, with deeds that were not upright. And they built for themselves high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman of the fortified city. And they made for themselves statues and sacred groves on every high hill and under every leaf tree. And they were burning incense there upon altars, in the manner of the nations that the Lord had removed from their face. And they did wicked deeds, provoking the Lord. And they worshipped impurities, concerning which the Lord instructed them that they should not do this word. And the Lord testified to them in Glasgow and in Judah through the hand of all the prophets and seers, saying, is that? Hold on, let me check real quick. Drinking rule. It's a group of people. Teras?
No, it's a person.
Okay. Return.
We've had the same question like yesterday or the day before.
I'm not paying attention. You should know that by now. Return from your wicked ways.
As if I am.
And keep my precepts and ceremonies in accord with the entire law which I instructed to your daddies, just as I sent to you by the hand of my servants, the prophets. But they did not listen. Instead, they hardened their necks to be like the neck of their daddies, who were not willing to obey the Lord their Skytis. Man, I hate stiff necks. And they cast aside his ordinances and the covenant that he formed with their daddies, and the testimonies which he testified to them, and they pursued vanities and acted vainly. And they followed the nations that were all around them, concerning the things which the Lord had commanded them not to do, and which they did. And they abandoned all the precepts of the Lord their Skytis. And they made for themselves 2 molten calves and sacred groves, and they adored the entire celestial army, and they served Baal. And they consecrated their sons and their daughters through fire, and they devoted themselves to divinations and soothsaying, and they delivered themselves into the doing of evil before the Lord, so that they provoked him. And the Lord became vehemently angry with Glasgow, and he took them away from his side. And there remained no one except the tribe of Judah alone. But even Judah did not keep the commandments of the Lord their Skytis. Instead, they walked in the errors of Glasgow, which they had wrought. And the Lord cast aside all of the offspring of Glasgow, and he afflicted them, and he delivered them into the hand of the spoilers, until he drove them away from his face, even from that time when Glasgow was torn away from the house of David. And they appointed themselves Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, as king. But Jeroboam separated Glasgow from the Lord, and he caused them to sin a great sin. And the sons of Glasgow walked in all the sins of Jeroboam which he had done, and they did not withdraw from these, even when the Lord carried away Glasgow from his face, just as he had said by the hand of all his servants, the prophets. And Glasgow was carried away from their land into Assyria, even to this day. Then the king of the Assyrians brought some from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and he located them in the cities of Samaria, in the place of the sons of Glasgow. And they possessed Samaria, and they lived in its cities. And when they had begun to live there, they did not fear the Lord. And the Lord set lions among them, which were killing them. And this was reported to the king of the Assyrians, and it was said, the peoples that you transferred and caused to live in the cities of Samaria, they are ignorant of the ordinances of the Skytis of the land. And so the Lord has sent lions among them. And behold!
No, we're beholding again.
They have killed them, because they were ignorant of the rituals of the Skytis of the land. I do enjoy a good beholding. B-Movie JS Revisions 8.13.07. Then the king of the Assyrians commanded, saying, lead to that place one of the priests whom you brought as a captive from there, and let him go and live with them, and let him teach the ordinances of the Skytis of the land. And so, when one of the priests who had been led away captive from Samaria had arrived, he lived in Bethel. And he taught them how they should worship the Lord. And each of the nations made Skytises of their own, and they placed them in shrines of the high places which the Samaritans had made. Nation after nation in their cities in which they were living. So the men of Babylon made Saketh Benoth, and the men of Cuth made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Ashima.
What are they making here?
I think just idols of some imaginary gods they're making up.
Okay.
Here, if you just read this part, then
Okay.
I think. And the Evites made Niphas. It has nips. I mean, what? And Tartak. Then those who were from Sepharvaim burned up their children with fire. For the Skytises of Sepharvaim, Adrammelech and Anammelech. Oh, that's just a little. Okay. But nevertheless, they worshipped the Lord. Then they made for themselves from the least of the people priests of the high places. And they placed them in the shrines of.
nipple as well.
Oh, yeah, mine as well. Same.
Idiot, what?
Placed them in the shrines of the high places. And though they worshipped the Lord, they also served their own Skytises in according to the custom of the nations from which they had been transferred into Samaria. Even to the present day, they follow the ancient customs. They do not fear the Lord, and they do not keep his ceremonies and his judgments and law and commandment, which the Lord had instructed to the sons of Jacob, whom he named Glasgow. Ah, yeah, just forcefully renaming Jacob. Good old days. And he had struck a covenant with them, and he commanded them, saying, You shall not fear foreign Skytises, and you shall not adore them, and you shall not worship them, and you shall not sacrifice to them. But the Lord your Skytis, who led you away from the land of Egypt with great strength and with an outstretched arm, him you shall fear, and him you shall adore, and to him you shall sacrifice. Also, the ceremonies and judgments and law and commandment which he wrote for you, you shall keep, so that you do them for all days. And you shall not fear strange Skytises. And the covenant which he struck with you, you shall not forget, neither shall you worship strange Skytises. But you shall fear the Lord your Skytis, and he will rescue you from the hand of all your enemies. Yet truly, they did not listen to this. Instead, they acted in accord with their earlier custom. And such were these nations, to some extent fearing the Lord, yet nevertheless also serving their idols. As for their sons and grandsons, just as their daddies acted, so also did they act, even to the present day. So they're like kind of following Skytis, but also worshipping others? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they do.
This what? This is so fucking weird. Ugh.
And but then they got some sort of offer, or someone told them, "Oh, you should stop doing this." But they weren't convinced, so they continued doing it anyway, having their worshipping their gods that they made up themselves, or they brought in from somewhere.
I honestly,
Even to the present day.
okay, Tora. Here's what I will tell you. You should save your channel points to acquire the pay-to-win role on Discord. That might help you.
The what?
To get 20,000 channel points, you can get yourself the pay-to-win role on Discord. That might help you. Totally not trying to scam you out of your channel points. I promise.
I do have 20,000.
Well, maybe it's time.
Your name will have a different color. Ooh.
Or maybe I'm just trolling you, trying to scam you.
I mean, you will get the role. I mean, whether or not it's actually of any use or value, that's left to be seen.
It does seem like a bit of a scam. But then again, a different color. That's.
I mean, this is like paying for cosmetics, you know, in a game. Like, it's not gonna give you any like functional advantage on the server, but it's gonna make you look nice and shiny from all the other knobs that have just plain white names, you know.
Can I pick the color?
No, it's got a set color. You'd have to probably pay actual money if you want a custom color. I'm sure Skytis would go for that. if you received actual financial incentive.
See if we can get 20,000 channel points out of him.
I'll consider it.
I mean, look on the bright side. What else are you going to spend the points on? That's like a permanent thing. Everything else on that list is like
it's in the game.
Everything else on that list is like a one-use thing, and this is like it's a permanent addition.
My nipple as well.
He does have a point. Oh yeah, mine as well.
If you've got more points, you can still do that. Like,
okay, fuck it. I'll.
You know.
I better fill in my name here too.
Games.
Okay, there we go.
He actually
what a
got
f-
he
what a
actually got
fucking
himself
chat.
scammed. Okay.
Oh,
Games.
You know what? We'll do this right now.
Games.
Where
I
does
guess
one
Games.
rolls?
You know what? You know what, Skytis? You should make the pick to win roll be displayed separately.
That sounds like work. That
It's
sounds
literally
like
it's literally a single tick box.
no. I'm currently busy.
Yes.
I have to do something else real quick. How do I?
Oh, no.
Okay, so I'm yellow,
Yes.
right? Great. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're so welcome.
In fact, you've never been more welcome.
Uh,
Oh, I got access to. Oh, but it says.
Be careful what you say.
Mm,
Be very careful with what you say.
I guess I won't get a refund if you take this away from me.
It's
No.
a very good guess.
Skytis doesn't have a refund policy. The refund policy is fuck off, get scammed nerds.
You can't
I've
spell
already
refund
been
without
scammed, so-
fun.
And the only one having fun is Skytis.
Correct. Well, anyways, now that you successfully wasted your money on absolutely nothing, I hope you feel good about yourself.
I haven't felt good about myself in 20 years.
Oh, fucking right there with you, bub.
2 Kings 18. In the 3rd year of Hoshea, the son of Elah, the king of Glasgow, Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, reigned as king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he had begun to reign, and he reigned for 29 years in Jerusalem. I feel like I've read this exact same sentence already, or these sentences rather. Can I have my Bible back, please? Can I have it back properly, please? The name of his mother was Abi, and the daughter of Zechariah. And he did what was good before the Lord, in accord with all that his daddy David had done. He destroyed the high places, and he crushed the statues, and he cut down the sacred groves, and he broke apart the bronze serpent which Moses had made. For even until that time, the sons of Glasgow were burning incense to it, and he called its name Nehushtan. He hoped in the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow. And after him, there was no one similar to him among all the kings of Judah, nor even among those who were before him. And he clung to the Lord, and he did not withdraw from his footsteps, and he carried out his commandments, which the Lord had instructed to Moses. Therefore, the Lord was also with him, and he conducted himself wisely in all the things to which he went forth. By the way, Teras, I hope you do realize that removing my Bible will not stop me from reading, because I have a backup, like, back there. You know that, like, right?
Yeah.
Good.
I wonder
Also-
where you got it from.
Yeah, exactly. Also, he rebelled against the king of the Assyrians, and he did not serve him. He struck the Philistines as far as Gaza and in all their borders, from the tower of the watchmen to the fortified city. In the 4th year of the king of Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of Hoshea, the son of Elah, the king of Glasgow, Shalmaneser, the king of the Assyrians, ascended to Samaria, and he fought against it, and he seized it. I think I've also read that before.
Really?
But after
Yeah.
3 years, in the 6th year of Hezekiah, that is, in the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Glasgow, Samaria was captured. And the king of the Assyrians took away Glasgow into Assyria, and he located them in Hela and in Habor, at the rivers of Gozan, in the cities of the Medes. I've definitely read this before. We're literally back at copy-pasting sections of the Bible. And I mean literally back, it happened before.
I thought we were done with this.
I thought we moved on. Holy fuck, this book is terrible. But they did not listen to the voice of the Lord, their Skytis. Instead, they transgressed his covenant. All that Moses, the servant of Lord, had instructed, they would neither hear nor do. In the 14th year of King Hezekiah, Sennacherib, Does he do rip skip? The king of the Assyrians went up to all the fortified cities of Judah, and he captured them. Then Hezekiah, the king of Judah, sent messengers to the king of the Assyrians at Lachish, saying, I have offended. Withdraw from me, and all that you will impose upon me I will bear. And so the king of the Assyrians levied a tax upon Hezekiah, the king of Judah, of 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. And Hezekiah gave all the silver that had been found in the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the king. At that time, Hezekiah broke apart the doors of the temple of the Lord with the plates of gold which he had affixed to them, and he gave these to the king of the Assyrians. Then the king of the Assyrians sent Tartan and Rabsaris and Rabshakeh from Lachish to King Hezekiah with a powerful hand to Jerusalem. And when they had ascended, they arrived in Jerusalem, and they stood beside the aqueduct of the upper pool, which is along the way of the fuller's field.
You mean blood aqueduct?
No, just aqueduct.
Oh, right, so okay. Not we know that far yet.
No, we're not making tabula rasas yet.
We're just in the regular aqueduct.
Yes.
Understandable.
And they called for the king. But there went out to them Eliakim. Oh no, Kim is back. He's invading me after all
Not
this.
again.
The son of Hilkiah, the first ruler of the house, and Shebna, the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the keeper of records. You enjoying all those names, Toa? Don't worry, I haven't heard any of them before either. They're just, this is what I mean. Sometimes the Bible is like, name drop. Just because.
Drop the names.
Decent names, I would say. Not the best I've heard.
Well, at least they're unique. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Rabshakeh said to them, Speak to Hezekiah. Thus says the great king, the king of the Assyrians. What is this faith in which you strive? Perhaps you have taken counsel so that you would prepare yourself for battle. In whom do you trust, that you would dare to rebel? Do you hope in Egypt that a staff of broken reed, which, if a man would lean upon it, breaking, it would pierce in his hand? Such is Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, to all who would trust in him. But if you say to me, We have faith in the Lord our Skytis, is it not he whose high places and altars Hezekiah has taken away? And did he not instruct Judah and Jerusalem, You shall adore before this altar in Jerusalem? Now therefore, cross over to my lord, the king of the Assyrians, and I will give to you 2,000 horses, and we will see if you even have enough riders for them. So how can you resist one prince from the least of my lord's servants? Do you have faith in Egypt because of the chariots and horsemen? Is it not by the will of the Lord that I have chosen to ascend to this place, so that I may destroy it? The Lord said to me, Ascend to this land and destroy it.
Oh,
Same.
I don't like gin. I'm also wet because I spilled gin all over myself.
That doesn't sound like a very gentleman thing to do.
It was a genius thing to do, though.
Then Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and Shebna and Joah said to Rabshakeh, We beseech you that you may speak to us, your servants, in Syriac. For we understand that language to some extent, and do not speak to us in the Jews' language, in the hearing of the people who are upon the wall. Just want to point out, I think this is the first mention of a language. Up until that point, it was just everybody could communicate with anyone, and now I guess that the Tower of Babylon or whatever happened, and people speak different languages? Wasn't that the story?
Maybe. Don't ask me.
I don't know if this is maybe part of some different mythology, but wasn't there a group of people built the tower to Babylon something to reach God, and then God was like, no, fuck you, destroyed the tower, and then just scattered them all, and now they all speak different languages because they tried to ascend to heaven.
Maybe.
No, am I just making this up? Okay.
Probably.
Last time I drank gin, I vomited horizontally. Hey, Teras, you got yourself a challenge.
I think I'll pass.
And Rabshakeh responded to them, saying, Has my lord sent me to your lord and to you, so that I may speak these words, and not instead to the men who are sitting upon the wall, so that they may eat their own dung and drink their own urine with you? Excuse me, what?
Hello?
They may eat their own dung and drink their own urine with you.
What?
Question mark?
What is this even supposed to mean? This is a metaphor, yes. He says, Has my lord sent me to your lord and to you? So I speak to you instead of speaking to your men who are sitting on the wall and literally just drinking their own piss and eating their shit. What is this supposed to mean? What is this a metaphor for? Like, what?
Well, you know what the Christians always say. You gotta interpret it the right way.
You know what? I'm gonna interpret it in the most literal way possible.
I eat shit.
Eat shit and die. Eat shit, drink piss, die young. Might be a metaphor.
So your mum's a metaphor.
It's a shit post, true.
Literally.
And so Rabshakeh stood up, and he exclaimed in a great voice in the Jews' language, and he said, Listen to the words of the great king, the king of the Assyrians. Thus says the king, Let not Hezekiah lead you astray, for he will not be able to rescue you from my hand. And do not let him give you faith in the Lord, saying, The Lord will rescue and free us, and this city will not be delivered into the hand of the king of the Assyrians. Do not choose to listen to Hezekiah, for thus says the king of the Assyrians, Do with me what is for your own good, and come out to me. And each one of you will eat from his own vine and from his own fig tree. And you shall drink water from your own wells, until I arrive and transfer you into a land similar to your own land, a fruitful and fertile land of wine, a land of bread and vineyards, a land of olives and oil and honey.
Oily.
And you... What?
Oily.
Thanks. And you will live and not die. As opposed to living and dying. Do not choose to listen to Hezekiah who deceives you, saying, The Lord will free us. Have any of the Skytises of the nations freed their land from the hands of the king of Assyria? Where is the Skytis of Hamath, of Arpad? Where is the Skytis of Sepharvaim, of Hena, of Ava? Have they freed Samaria from my hand? Which ones among us, all the Skytises of the lands, have rescued their region from my hand, so that the Lord would be able to rescue Jerusalem from my hand? But the people were silent, and they did not respond to him at all. For indeed, they had received an instruction from the king that they should not respond to him. And Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, the first ruler of the house, and Shebna, the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the keeper of records, went to Hezekiah with their garments torn, and they reported to him the words of Rabshakeh. Pinestum.
Pines?
Pinestum. He has removed the Pinestum.
Pines.
Teras,
Yes.
why did you do this to yourself?
Yeah, it's done. It's over. Game over, kids.
So, now that you've had the pleasure of reading parts of the Bible, Lord of the Rings? Bible.
Well, I get probably the biggest advantage is of the Lord of the Rings is it's much shorter than the Bible. So even if it was
I mean, one's a masterpiece, one's also a piece, just not the one you're thinking of.
I'm not sure if it's a masterpiece. Well, it's good.
Would you call it an apprentice piece?
But no, I think probably I will continue just reading through Lord of the Rings. And having read some of the Bible here today, I will
Never touched it in my entire life.
Yeah, I think it's made it significantly less likely that I will ever read more of it, unless I somehow am
Yeah,
forced to come back on this show.
like if you need more convincing, what you've experienced today is the more is I would say sort of the mediocre side of the Bible. There is some better written bits that are more interesting, and then there is also much worse bits where you literally want to pull your teeth out.
Yeah. But
Deuteronomy, the book of Deuteronomy being the notable one here.
it's always been one of those things that I've said that I've been intending to read the Bible at some point.
Don't.
But now, after today,
Unintend.
I don't think I will. I don't think I can say that in any sort of
Good.
with any honesty.
We're basically like anti-Jehovah's Witnesses.
I think that's accurate.
Just knock on people's doors. Would you like to hear all the reasons why you shouldn't believe in the Lord?
But then again, now I guess I can say that I have read parts of the Bible.
Yeah.
Because I felt like you sort of questioned that a bit earlier when I said I've read parts of it. And now
I mean, the thing is finding all the random scattered verses of the Bible around the internet doesn't do the Bible justice, because they're very nitpicked.
Yes.
They actually make the Bible
very
seem
precise ones.
If you only look at the sort of popular verses, it actually makes the Bible seem like a somewhat reasonable book.
Yes. Yeah, that's. I feel like I've
Thanks,
seen
Steve.
both sort of excerpts that are completely crazy, of course, and also stuff that's a bit more, maybe not sane, but has some sort of.
Now here's a fun thing I'll leave you with that I actually found yesterday. If you actually do want to read the Bible in a bit less of a brain melting capacity, this is Bible easy to read version, which is more of a list of bullet points as to what happens in each book and verse, which makes it a little bit easier to understand, because it actually just tells you like, and then this happens, and then this person did this, and then that person did that, and then like it's still the full book. It's still really long, but it's compressed and rewritten in just a nice list that just tells you what happens in each bit of the book.
That does sound like a.
So you're still experiencing the whole book, but
Right.
You're experiencing it in a actual readable version.
Yeah, that's probably the way to go, I guess. But still, probably not.
Wise.
Thanks, Ivan. Very cool. The answer is both. He replaced Christianity with this. It's called hentai, and it's art.
Called hentai, and I'm in love with her. I mean, what? I think it is time. It is time.
Peasant.
It's time to set you free.
Release you back into the ocean where you belong, you fucking whale.
Were you talking to me now?
I'm talking to all of you. We're ending.
Oh, okay, we're ending. Okay. Well, thank you for having me on the show, I guess.
You're most welcome to come back if you would like, but I would not recommend it.
Maybe next year.
Wise. Well, if you want to.
Well, we'll remember this. Skytis will remember this. This little corner of the screen.
If you want to come back, you know how to reach me.
Yes.
And if we're in an emergency,
make
we might
sure
reach out
before
to
you contact me, you contact a psychiatrist, though.
I've already had.
Well, then you're good to go. Are you gonna stream right now?
Me?
Yes.
No, of course not.
Damn.
He needs time to recover from the brain damage his injured.
I'll go cry in bed.
Well,
Yeah, you should.
I found.
I mean, it's Sunday after all.
Just go drink yourself into a coma to forget about what you just experienced.
Yeah, probably.
You can use the time to self-promote now if you would like, though.
I don't want to.
Tell people why they should
should.
watch
I don't
you.
want to be associated with this.
Understandable. Have a day.
Please don't tell anyone I've been.
Don't go to twitch.tv/toafalkman. I don't think he streams. You should not go there.
Well-
Wingsome streamer.
I do stream primarily in Swedish, so just as a disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
So,
But how do they know her?
but yes. Okay, well, do you
Th-
want me to stay here until you end the
It is
stream?
totally up to you. You can leave any moment. You could leave literally this very second as I'm speaking, if you would like.
Wow.
Only it was always that easy. Okay. Well, thank you for your mental assistance, Tora. And you're so welcome. For now knowing that you do not want to read this book. I guess we're gonna rate Choco Muffin. I don't even know what he's running. Okay, he's just running I Hate Myself TM, the category. Left 4 Dead 2 all campaigns, legacy, solo, expert realism. AKA the thing that I did where I needed like 4 hours to finish just the 5 main campaigns, and he's doing all of them because he hates himself. So if you want some Left 4 Dead 2 speedruns, you know, join in the raid. If you don't want them, I don't care. Go read the Bible.